So
pandemic.
I've been finding ways to make mundane activities more of a challenge and dangerous. But so far, haven't found anything exciting.
No. How's it going, people? Jack here with another reaction, and today we're checking out some more from the channel I Did a Thing. This time it's on the world's most powerful hammer. Now, it does say 50 cal here on the thumbnail, so I don't think that we're going to be talking about something conventional here. So no getting into physics, leverage, kinetic energy, no. I have no idea of what Chaos is about to build, but you recommended it to me, so I'm gonna watch it. Buddy.
How you going? I'm still in lockdown, and I'm bored, really bored.
Oh yeah, during the
So
pandemic.
bored, I've been finding ways to make mundane activities more of a challenge and dangerous. But so far, haven't found anything exciting.
No. See, I understand that a lot of people were trying to prove that they too lived dangerously during the pandemic. Some went out without masks, some went out and trying to infect others purposely. And yeah, he decided to want to chop his pee-pee off. Priorities.
Exciting enough. But then I saw the experts, Mexicans. So today I'm gonna make my version of their hammer.
Oh, the one with the explosive at the end. Okay, Mexico is on another level with this one. I vividly remember learning about this tradition, I think 4 years ago in Spain, where we were like comparing some things in comparison to what Spain has and what Mexico has in terms of tradition. Completely is opposite sometime with the Spanish things, but whatever. This is done on the day of San Juan Bautisto, I guess you could say that, John the Baptist Day, where they are celebrating, having some great festivities, but also just throwing hammers on the streets and next to their houses, which cause, naturally, windows to explode. And mind you, this is a tradition that they've been doing for over 300 years. So in other words, when a Mexican picks up his hammer and says that he's about to do some carpentry, he knows what he's doing.
And even though I'm thoroughly sick of lockdown and being unable to do stuff, luckily today's sponsor, NordVPN, allows me to travel the world wherever I want. Here are some photos of me on my recent trip to Paris. And here's me in New York Key. I've been a Nord customer for years and love the fact that it's easy to use with a single click, allowing me to access over 5,200 servers in 60 countries that gives me the fastest speed of any VPN out there. It also...
I'm sorry, but like, do Australians just have like a predisposition for being chaotic? Like from the way that Martin's doing crazy stories, the whole channel of Tyro Pyro, now I Did a Thing, Friendly Jordy. Well, he gets attacked. He's not exactly being the chaotic one. Okay, no, that's wrong. He's pretty next level. Who else can I bring here? Aussie Man, just documenting what Aussies do. It's just that in 2 videos in a row now we have 9/11 references. It's awesome.
Though protects all my internet data behind its ultra secure wall of next generation encryption, which is great when I'm being dodgy. Let's say I'm sick of being in Sydney where the COVID cases are too high. I just change my location and now I'm in Singapore, watching and hanging out with the cast of Singapore Social. It just takes one click, open the map, click on the location, and you'll be connected in seconds to nordvpn.com/ididthing to get a 2-year plan plus 4 additional months with a huge discount. So what are you waiting for? Go use my link in the description now and go start surfing all over the world today. Alright, now some of you probably already know I'm not the first to copy the Mexicans with explosive hammers, and an Australian company, Ramset, beat me to it making this, which is used to drive nails through brick and metal. And I could just buy one of these, but look at that price.
Yeah, $1,000.
I'm definitely better off making my own. So, the first thing I did was buy a $2,000 lathe.
Why do they all look like power drills?
Okay, so this is my plan. I've collected all the scrap metal in my house.
He's barefooted, isn't he? I mean, I would be too. I literally, only because it's cold right now that I'm wearing socks. I'm not going to show you my feet. What?
which I reckon I can combine to make this. It's pretty simple, just a block of metal in 2 pieces with a swivel point here. Then you put the nail inside with a charge behind it, and when I hit the nail here, it moves back and hopefully sets off the charge, firing the nail out the end. And some of you might recognize some similarities between this and Stuff Made Here's baseball bat. But look, if he's allowed to copy my steel-toed croc video and make it much better, then I'm allowed to copy his video and make it much worse. And that's my idea, but I don't actually think I have the skills to make this, since this is my first time using a lathe, and so far I've only made this. So hopefully making the hammer is similar. And unlike this, which is made from round bar and fits in the 3-jaw chuck, I'm using...
I mean, he has the lubricant right there.
using square bar for the hammer, which doesn't fit. So either I add another jaw on the side, or use this 4-jaw chuck. And this sounds like an easy solution, but when you put material in a 4-jaw chuck like this, it needs to be centered using one of these.
Oh yeah.
And I hate being precise.
I love that.
I always avoid it, but now, thanks to this tool, I have the ability to tell how
extremely
unprecise
precise.
I am, accurate to 1/100th of a millimeter.
Yeah. And he's gonna do it wrong, isn't he?
This is dumb. I feel like nothing I do makes any sense. I hit this side, and now this side has moved in. And then I turn this thing, and now the whole thing's the wrong way. But after mucking around with it for ages, I seem to have gotten the piece roughly in the middle. So I brought in the tool to do a cut across the face.
Can be pretty satisfying, huh?
And lathing is a lot of fun and really makes you feel like a man with a big manly tool. Mainly because it allows me to finally grow facial
Metal
hair.
pubes. oh no. Oh no.
And that facing cut feels pretty smooth. And after comparing it to my face, it's much more flat.
No, dude.
Okay, now I'm going to drill a hole in the center of the block. And this is the scary part, as if it's not centered, all the machinists watching will make fun of me.
And it's dark.
And this sucks. If I can't get the drill bit out, I'm going to have to start all over. I tried yanking it out by turning the lathe on while holding the other part still, and even tried putting it in the freezer with Digest mangoes, which always helps me relax and shrink in size. But nothing worked. But then I had a genius idea. I grinded some flats on the side of the drill bit and used this wrench to attempt to turn it out.
Ah. Not bad.
Which worked, but I still need to make the hole a little larger. And I've decided from now on, I should definitely use a safer approach and use a dummy and some lubricant. And I'm pretty sure the lathe isn't meant to be making this noise. So I just put on some ear protection to fix the noise, and that looks pretty good, and the blank also fits.
Perfectly.
Perfect.
Okay, the hole is done and seems to be in the center. So I just cut the tip off using the world's most unpleasant tool. And then decided I had had enough of staring at these blanks and wanted to see what actually happens if I
Modern
just
Quality
hit one with a
Magazine.
hammer.
3, 2,
A
1.
powerful dose. Yeah, dude.
Yes!
And now without ear protection for some reason.
3, 2,
Why?
And I don't know why I did that. My ears are literally still ringing while recording this. But I still decided I want to see what happens if I hit it again, but this time with a nail on top. So I put the nail in, then place the blank underneath.
Oh,
and it's
no.
very important I do this in that order so I don't accidentally set off the blank and die. Then I hit it as hard as I could.
2, 1.
And nothing. And again.
It reminds me of actually watching those Mexican videos there. I remember like perhaps again 4 years ago, there was that a reporter from Vice who went there. Yeah, there were people who were not that they went missing or kidnapped. No, they missed the hit, like with the hammer, and you could see like the ignition going off slowly and people not having enough time to react to let go of the hammers, and suddenly it just explode in their faces. Like, it's fucking dangerous.
This time I placed a sharper point behind the blank. And still nothing. And then I tried placing the blank on flat metal and also clamping the device so it doesn't fall onto the ground and then point towards me.
3, 2, 1.
Is that a kid in the background?
God, what the? Holy.
Where's the nail?
Where did the nail? Whoa! Oh, that is terrifying. I
Scheiße.
cannot believe that these
Weak.
say they are weak. I am so glad I didn't buy the strong ones. Let's check upstairs and see if that did any damage.
Yo, like I said, he has the best parents ever. Destroying the
And
home
that
like
works
that.
a little too well, which might be my fault, as I spent an hour like a sweatshop worker machining like 100 nails down until I had an airtight fit in the hole of the hammer. And I'm really starting to think I should make myself like a Kevlar apron or something to protect my innards. If for some reason anyone watching has some Kevlar they don't want that they want to send me, hit me up. Okay, moving on with the build, I need to make a hinge between the two pieces. So I decided to just use a store-bought hinge, which will attach to the bottom of some flat bar like this. And now it's time for something else I've never done, which is use this tap and die set to create threads in metal. But first, I thought I'd better read the instructions very, very carefully to make sure I don't die. Then, once it was kind of together, I realized a potential problem with my design, which was that the round could go off when I closed the hinge. Which it didn't, so I set it off with a stick once again.
3, 2, 1. Oh my god. It's too powerful, so it went straight through.
Another one.
And let's go check upstairs again. What?
And that works great, but I still decided to swap the hinge out for a more beefy one, which I took from the door of this cabinet. And I like this thing. It's like I'm holding a badly rendered pistol.
Can you imagine just coming back home from having bought groceries and starting to like put them in place and being like, son, what's the door to the cupboard missing? No reason. What do you mean, no reason? There's supposed to be a locked door here. So you see, Dad, I made a revolver hammer. A what? And I thought that having to pay part of the electric bill because I held LAN parties at home was a big deal. This dude literally has to replace everything at home.
Now I need to decide on the locks that hold the pieces together. And at first I was going to go with this kind of artistic wanky lock, but I don't actually think it would hold together with the extreme forces on the hammer. So I went with this sturdier one. Then once I tap and not died the rest of the holes, I've essentially got the finished thing.
Now to sand it.
Except it looks really ugly. And after looking online at other kinds of hammers and other stuff, I found this by Adam Savage, which I'm going to take slight inspiration from.
Revolver Ocelot. Yep.
And after
sandpaper.
all that grinding, I was curious as to how much metal I had actually lost. So I measured it, and strangely, I gained around 1 centimeter. Then I cleaned up the other pieces using my sick tech deck skills from my childhood. And so far, this has actually been pretty easy. But now comes the hard bit, where I grind in the more delicate details and risk stuffing up this whole piece, which I'm terrified about. So I rolled a die to see which piece would be sacrificed first. Now I'm going to try and create an angled section on the side, and I can do this in 2 different ways. The first, by locking the grinding face at an angle. Or I can do my favorite method, which is to lock myself at a 45-degree angle so I'm consistent with my grind.
My dude.
And after combining the two, I created this. So then
I'm sorry. We need to comment on his nail a little bit. How much did he bite his nails? Holy shit, dude. Like, I never bit my nails as a kid. So, like, they're like half the size of mine. I would have imagined that, like, your finger, at least the tip, is... I know within the context of a video like his, innuendos are in the plenty. But I would have imagined that it would be more than that. And does he still bite his fingers or did he stop? That's what I really want to know.
just did the same thing on the front to create these cute little triangles, which despite my fears, actually look pretty good.
Dang.
So then I attempted the scariest part, which is a rounded groove cut into metal, which blacksmiths and whitesmiths like to call fullers. So I tilted the belt at this sharp angle and started. And while doing this, I actually found the best angle for grinding was when I placed my head right here, which allowed me to see right along the face. But it also means the metal dust gets a good view of my face as well. And after all this grinding, I was starting to create a bit of mess on the floor with all these iron filings. But luckily, I had a mate who told me a tip, which was to place a bucket of water directly underneath
And
the
your
grinder,
feet straight
which is
into
actually
it.
great, as it keeps me nice and cool while doing this hot work. Okay, the fullers look pretty good, although it is starting to look more like the G word, which I'm too scared to say on YouTube. And this definitely
Gun.
isn't a G, it's a hammer, not illegal, and it's just a homemade...
Wait, why is that illegal to say on YouTube? To my understanding, there are plenty of gun YouTubers. Oh, perhaps it sets your videos in a different category. But, I mean, it's fine.
slightly a dodgy version of something I can buy from stores. So then I switched to this belt, which I found in the bin of a waxing salon. And the tiny hairs stuck to this belt give the metal a really nice finish.
Nice. I actually like this. It's
And
beautiful.
look at that, I'm proud. It actually all looks good, except these little overhanging lips. So I gave it a labiaplasty. Now you're probably wondering how I'm going to stick a handle on this thing. And so am I. I definitely should have planned how I was going to do that from the start,
Epoxy.
because now I'm just going to have to go with the easiest, worst option, which is most
Epoxy.
likely going to ruin all of this work. And I'm going to attempt to weld a piece of pipe here and then just shove the handle in like this.
Yep.
And after a quick test, cutting another piece of pipe and welding that onto another piece of metal, and then hitting that as hard as I can against an anvil, I think it might hold. So I just got a piece real hot, squished it in the vise, and then closed my eyes and hoped for the best.
No, mate. Okay, he
I
was
really
wearing
hope
a
this doesn't
helmet.
Stuff up. This has been my longest project so far and took me a crazy 13 minutes and 59 seconds to get here. And I had to sit through a Nord sponsor and 2 unskippable ads.
You bastard! I was analyzing the shot. Okay, that's clearly protection that he's wearing there and not a condom. But no, he was straight up watching a YouTube video of it. Oh, mad lad.
So this better work. And after filling the piece up with about an inch of lava, the weld actually looks alright and the piece hasn't deformed. So then I cleaned off the black stuff until it was shiny again, and then did some research trying to decide on the finish for this metal. And one I do like is stone washing, where you etch the metal in acid. Then people on the internet will get that metal and put it in a rock tumbler to get this nice looking surface which protects the metal from rust and looks rustic. And I don't have a tumbler, so I figured out another easy way to make your own. All you do is you get your metal, put it in your pocket with some stones from the garden, and then put it in the washing machine for about an hour,
No!
which gives you this. And I decided I don't actually like this very much, so I'm sticking with the shiny finish. But I'm also going to copy what every wog that moves to Australia does and
I would disown you if you were my son. It's insane.
cover pointless parts of it in gold in an attempt to make myself look more serious. Then I grabbed some oil and rubbed it all over the wood before using some quick set epoxy and a bolt to lock the handle in place.
That's what I imagined
Now,
that
the
he was going to
instructions
do.
of the epoxy don't say you have to panic, but I find I get better results if I use the wrong size bolt,
Quickly.
which I then have to cut down and then burn myself on.
Oh, I hate that. It's like people using the wrong drill bit to make a hole in the wall. Who the fuck does that? Like, you literally have all the instrument available to you. You can go incremental and increase the size. Don't be an idiot. Oh, this hurts. This actually hurts.
I then like to freak out that I'm not going to get the handle in place before the epoxy sets, ruining my whole project, meaning I'm not going to be able to upload a video in time and I'm going to become irrelevant and not be able to upload on YouTube ever again. And it worked. Then I took it back to the beautiful hairy belt to smooth it out. And
That quick YouTube existential crisis that most creators have. Yeah.
I do like these hairy belts a lot, but just like the Thai place down the road, I find I get much better results when finishing by hand. And it's done. So I decided to do one last vice test just to make sure it all still works.
3, 2, 1.
Poor ceiling.
Nice. I don't know why I didn't place a piece of wood there or something. Let's go upstairs. What? Oh,
And I'm very, very happy with that. This thing is powerful and beautiful. Definitely the coolest thing I've ever made. But I just realized that the vise was definitely adding heaps of support on the side and on the bottom of the hammer. So before I swing it by hand, I decided to put it on this rig, which perfectly recreates how my arm works. Which didn't work. And again. Then I figured out what was happening. My hammer was working in the vise, but not for the reasons I intended. I thought the nail was moving back and pushing the blank, setting it off, but that wasn't actually happening. Because I was scared and crouching down to make sure I didn't die, I was actually hitting the top of the hammer, not the nail, which meant I was squishing these two pieces of metal together, setting off the blank.
Right.
So I switched to a shorter nail so that the end of the hammer would actually hit the table. And...
Three. Boom.
yes. Yes. Whoa.
What was that?
all right, let's hammer some stuff that you shouldn't be able to. Like, this fry pan.
Oh, no, it's gonna stick, it's gonna stick.
And it smashed through that easily. But it is pretty thin metal, so let's move on to some thicker metal, like this a barbecue plate, which is 1.5 centimeters thick.
See if it deforms the metal from the nail, that is.
2, 1.
Oh, come on.
That was a loud one. Okay, it's stuck. Ooh. Whoa. It is punched a clean hole. You can see the punch marks. Or the way that it kind of blew it out at the back. That is insane.
Incredible.
And after that success, I think I'm going to take it off the rig and have a go at hitting it myself. And I'm honestly so surprised this thing hasn't blown apart yet. And even my dodgy weld seems to somehow be holding up. So I stacked up some stuff in front of me and decided to hit this book.
Why are there eggs everywhere? My dude, with 10 simple solutions to adult ADD, make the most powerful hammer in the world. Sure.
Oh my god, I'm terrified of this thing. Please, away from me. Okay. 3,
Drop, jump, beat, go!
1.
Oh, well, nothing happened. That was underwhelming.
3, 2, 1. That was actually fine to hold. Don't go all the way through the table. Went through the book, through the table, through this surfboard I have here, and is sticking out. That is insane.
It's like people wanting to do the whole point blank shooting, right? But without all of the mess. It's straight through. It's kind of nice. I like this.
I'm going to stop playing with this thing. This.
Oh, it just threw his head.
Thank
Come
you
on.
so much for watching. If you like that, please subscribe and check out some of my other stuff.
You know that moment in The Matrix where like Neo and Morpheus are like standing together? Or was it him and Trinity? Either ways, there's this scene where they're just like standing in a white void and just a row of guns are just passing by them. I imagine him with all of his creation having like a room like that in his house or somewhere. He could have made his own Batcave if he wanted to, but he definitely needs to have something like that because wow, his inventions are insane but really funny.